it was signed, even though it was signed 85 days late. Because I know what happens. All of us know what happens. If you have an unbalanced budget, things are going to get worse for all of us. That's like our personal finances, right? If we push everything off, we borrow too much, we don't pay our bills, right? You get those penalties for paying your credit card statements too late. We understand basic financial literacy. And that's why I said it was important that they fix it. Now, what happened? They didn't fix it until February. And so we had to shut down 5,300 infrastructure projects throughout the state of California. The economists said that was critical to the economic rebound for California and the United States of America. That's why it was important for me to continue to press the case. And we saw what happened because they didn't fix it. Today I'm issuing IOUs. Now, we are putting too many people in harm's way. I don't like issuing IOUs. I see the struggle and the sacrifices. The same people that were hurt in February. College students, the aged, the blind, the disabled, small business vendors, county government for local services had bear the brunt. Now, fortunately, I'm very proud of my staff. We went to bat working to make sure we reduce the harm that happened. We worked with President Obama's administration, asking them not to cut the SSP, SSI contributions to the aged, the blind, the disabled. Fortunately, they were kind enough to continue to make the payments, so we didn't have the most vulnerable people here in California on the streets starving and trying to find a roof over their head. We worked with the UC, Cal State, and community college system to make sure that they didn't disenroll a single student here in the state of California. If the state isn't paying their money, it's not their fault. It's the people in Sacramento. And so we shouldn't punish them for the failure of progress on the financial front. So those are the same people that are struggling today. Now, as I was with Governor Schwarzenegger on minimum wage, I'm the last person standing making decisions in terms of cash management to keep California from going off the fiscal cliff. Issuing IOUs is an admission that the state cannot pay its bills. It is a terrible sign. We are the lowest credit rated state in America. We were downgraded again, citing the budget impasse. And at the end of the day, those monies that go to pay Wall Street should be money providing essential services, education, building California's infrastructure, so we have once again reestablished the state of golden dreams. So we are issuing IOUs. In the issuance of IOUs for the non-protected payments, which are the categories are listed, can only help us get through August. Depending on the volatility, it could be a few weeks short, maybe a week longer or 2 weeks longer. If the governor and legislature do not come to agreement, we will have to start to cut into protected payments. What are some of those protected payments? Medi-Cal payments, payroll, which already is illegal to issue IOUs, but we have to keep the state from defaulting. And we have to protect against failure of debt service so that all of us are together in our financial understanding. The worst thing that could happen is we fail to pay debt service. Education's number one under the California Constitution. Debt service is number two, but failure to pay debt service is what triggers the default. Now, what happens in a default? Do people know what happens in a default? Okay. Under federal law, we can't file for bankruptcy, but it's like a bankruptcy, but much worse. Much worse. Imagine what happens with a bankruptcy. I'm not paying your paychecks. I am not paying for education. Things are already bad today for our kids when we shut down summer school, when we do not let them participate in music or arts or physical education. Imagine the healthcare not being funded here in California. Imagine all the potholes you'll be driving through, wrecking your car. So it's not clear if we can pay anything, and if we can, what we can. Second, America and the world operates on credit. That's what first President Bush and now President Obama are trying to fix, right? Because we can't create businesses, we can't put a roof over our head with a mortgage if we have no access to credit. So imagine California not being able to borrow money as we've done all times but one in the last 3 decades. And then third, what else happens in a near bankruptcy or bankruptcy? Litigation. Your creditors are suing you, you're waiting for a judge to make a decision. What makes it more difficult, if you remember your civics lessons, is separations of powers issues. Under the Constitution, the governor has responsibilities. The legislature has responsibilities. I have responsibilities. The judge might tell us what to do. The governor or the legislature or I may disagree with the judge. There may be more litigation. And while all of that is happening while waiting for a decision, nothing is happening in our economy. Nothing is happening, or disarray is occurring. So that's why I am taking these dramatic steps to protect each and every single person here in the state of California, especially the people who can least protect themselves. So your advocacy, your day-to-day power in your work is absolutely critical. Let me end with another story about my family. I haven't said this in a while, but talked about the power of people. I mentioned the 4 kids of my parents. The 3rd child is my sister Joyce. Now, my mom really wanted a daughter, and so she named her Joyce because she said she brought her great joy. And then I have a baby brother, Roger. My sister followed the same path. I was very interested in social justice. I wanted to be like Thurgood Marshall. I wanted to be a Supreme Court justice working on all these great issues. Then I sort of got confused in high school. I became a high school mathlete. I think it's only me and Paul from the Wonder Years who ever admits to being a mathlete, right? So, but I get being a mathlete is a good background for being the controller of the state of California, right? Who does math problems for fun? My sister followed in that same path, and she went and wanted to be involved in social justice. She worked on a lot of immigration issues. She worked for Congressman Howard Berman. She went to the same law school I did, Georgetown University Law Center, went to work for the Department of Justice at the INS. I was very proud in 1998 to get elected from my first public office, the Board of Equalization. In one generation, you have parents who are giving up everything, who are struggling to provide a better opportunity for their kids. And then you could have a child get elected to one of the 12 highest offices in the state of California. So I took office January 3rd. 6 days later, my sister, who was working back in Washington, D.C., disappears on a Saturday evening. Her body is found off the bank of the Potomac 3 months later. She's one of the many women who disappeared, and you can understand the devastation that occurs to a family, right? My mom's pride and joy is no longer there. Her body's so badly decomposed, we only recognize that it's her through DNA tests. Now, a national organization named the Heroes of the American Dream Award after my sister, because they said because of her loving, giving, compassionate spirit, we just want to recognize her. Right, not from a prominent or famous family, not a blue blood, just another person trying to do right by other people. And so that's our challenge today. It's in all of us. And despite the hardships, despite the dysfunction, despite our systems breaking down, we individually, and more importantly, together, collectively, can turn this world and make our bright, shining, most promising day once again all of ours. So thank you for all you do. It's an honor to be here with all of you. Thank you.